Hello, and this is JoyNews Today. I am Emefa Akosia Adeti. We're live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra, and we're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and all of our social media platforms as JoyNews. Coming up this afternoon, minority in Parliament charges government to use the NPP module of one constituency, one ambulance and purchase new fire tenders for districts across the country after rampant fire outbreaks.
The same way, we have to take action and consciously get budgetary allocation for the fire service.
Details as a preliminary investigation by the Ghana National Fire Service into the Kisseman Fire that caused the death of a 4-month-old baby reveals victim's mother was intoxicated. Also, President Mahama promises revival of the oil and gas sector as he assures residents of the western region of renewed growth.
The team has held discussions with our partners in the oil and gas industry, and you'll soon witness a revival of the oil and gas industry here in the western region.
More as he tours the central region today with a promise to operationalize the Anamabo Fisheries Training College. We've got this, and also local governance experts reignite debate on partisan election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executive officers. We've got these and more in this package. Please stay for details. And thank you for always choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Now, first story this afternoon. The minority in Parliament is asking government to adopt the opposition New Patriotic Party's special initiative of purchasing ambulances for all constituencies across the country and do same for the fire service. Now, the service has complained about faulty fire tenders with so many parts of the country without any working fire tenders, hampering its efforts to deal with recent fire outbreaks. We'll hear from the MPs shortly. Let's recap some fire incidents recorded this week. In Ofarikrum, fire destroyed a 13-bedroom house. The residents say, but for the swift intervention of the KNUST fire station, the inferno will have engulfed nearby houses.
Afe na area boys any amafafro nipa bebre ebeboy yetutu hanu mubule ni nyina nsuo edugum ansa na fire service for ebeduru aside.
We had a lot of people helping before the fire service arrived. The fire really brought down all the structures. It nearly extended to the next house. For now, I can say everything in the house is gone. We were fortunate that the kids here had gone to school at the time the fire started. They couldn't pick anything from their rooms. It's painful for a family to lose their fortune in a single day. How are they going to survive?
Well, sadly, here in Accra, a preliminary investigation by the Ghana National Fire Service into the death of a 4-month-old baby after fire razed their makeshift structure at Kisseman was shown that the victim's mother was intoxicated. Alex Kinate is a member of the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service.
The information that we've gathered, which we are yet to substantiate after the investigations, it points to the fact that the mother of the burnt child was quite negligent. She had left her gas cylinder on and that unknowingly, probably due to the fact that she was under the influence of alcohol, put on the candle and then put on the coil. These are things that when they come into contact with the gas can easily start a fire and an explosion. So that is what indications are pointing to have been the cause of the fire. But then we can't say for sure if that is the cause now until we finish investigation. There's no intelligence system that alerts the Ghana National Fire Service of a fire until you call on us. So it depends on the time they called on us. And then also the fact that we've bemoaned the lack of fire stations in communities. Look at the whole big community like Kisseman, Christian Village, Dome Kwabinya. There's no single fire station there. And so when the fire happened, we had to call on a fire tender from University of Ghana and then Abiling to go there to fight the fire. So we did, after we received the call, within 10 minutes we got there. But I think once we have a fire station within the community, in the future our response time will be much shorter.
We can now hear from NPP Member of Parliament for Oforiko Mike Edu, who explains that an initiative to equip every district with a working fire tender will put the fire service in readiness to deal with any fire outbreak in the country.
I think, I believe we are doing a lot of lip service. We are doing a lot of lip service because if you look at the damage to our environment, you go to places and you see the way we burn things. People, you live next door and your neighbor is burning things into the atmosphere without consent to the neighborhood, without consent to the environment. You visit places and people still engage in bush fire burning. You go to villages and people want to go and catch game, and then they will still burn the forest. Devastation being caused by galamsey, devastation being caused by farming, our grasslands being devastated by fire and so on. And then when you come to our communities, I feel some of these climate extremes that are going on, as a country, we've not put so much budget to it. How do we equip the National Disaster Management Organizations like NADMO? How do we equip the fire service? How many fire tenders are in the country? I know we are developing as a nation. There was a point in time where we didn't even have enough ambulances. Due to government efforts, we were able to procure enough ambulances. So in the same way, we have to take action and consciously get budgetary allocation for the fire service. These things are going against the nation, and it counts into billions of cedis when you quantify everything together. So today's statement was to stress on the point. I've seen from the Hansa that a lot of statements have been made on fire. But we've gotten to the point that as Parliament, as a government, as a country, we need to look at the holistic approach that can nip it in the bud once and for all. For instance, our markets. Are we going to put fire tenders close by? Are we going to create special fire hydrants that will supply water to the market so that in case there is a fire outbreak, the fire service can get easy access to water to be able to quench the fire so that the losses will be minimal or reduced? For instance, what are we going to do about insurance for some of these our markets so that when there is fire outbreak, people will not lose everything altogether?
We've been joined by a member of the Public Relations Office of the Ghana National Fire Service, ADO1, Alex Kingnate, via phone. I thank you for joining us. Let's start with what happened with the 4-month-old baby. Now, you've been saying that your initial investigation is suggesting that the mother was intoxicated. Please draw the relationship between her intoxication and the death of the baby.
Well, based on our investigation, investigations include having to engage with the community, eyewitnesses, and then also based on our own intelligence that we pick. But initial assessment points to the fact that the mother was intoxicated and was sleeping outside, and that unknowingly left the gas cylinder on and had left the baby inside with the candle inside. So once, we know candle and gas is not the best of friends. So when these two came together, it caused an explosion, which then left the unfortunate demise of the 4-month-old baby.
That's a sad one. Let's get some clarity. So in recent times, would you say that there have been more fire outbreaks than compared, especially maybe let's compare this year and last year?
Well, the beginning part of this year was getting a bit out of hand, but our management was able to put measures in place. And so I would say we've seen quite a reduction in fires, because especially market fires, you can bear with me, that it's been well over a month you heard of major market fires. That's because of pragmatic efforts we put in place to reduce the limit of market fires. So with our limited fire tenders, we have positioned all our fire tenders to go on night patrols at the various markets within Ghana. So from Tamale to Accra to Tama to Kumasi, our fire tenders can at the various markets from 6 p.m. in the evening to 6 p.m. in the carrying out night patrol duty, identify threats that could start a fire, and then even to start any fire, starting at the initial stages, they will be able to deal with it so that it doesn't escalate into
So you're saying that at least your response to these outbreaks have been quite impressive. Now, what I want to find out is that the number of fires that has been happening over the last months or weeks, has it been an increase? Is it the same number? Is it strange? Or we as a people aren't doing something right?
Well, I'll say it's a combination of all.
Okay.
It doesn't really increase, but then you'd bear with me that the fires that we record has to do with a lot of slum areas. And so slum areas is making the figures go up. And this is not attributed to urbanization and negligence, as you mentioned. So when people say in slum areas, most of the time tend to they tend to take things for granted, tend to keep gas in these wooden structures, thereby making fires get out of hand if there's any little fire. So I would say it's a combination of all, and as a service, we're on top of our fire game. We are prepared, and we put together a lot of our fire tenders that were out of commission to be able to tell the people in the state which are identified.
Well, we're talking about preparedness before I let you go. So the minority in parliament, or I'd say the NPP, is saying that the current government should adopt the system where they were introducing, or they had introduced, one constituency, one ambulance. So it will be that one constituency, one fire tender. Will that help? Or you have alternative means by which this will be a good one?
It's the best. It's the best.
Okay.
If I had my own way, I'll even advocate for one community, one fire tender. At one constituency, one fire tender, way to go. Bearing in mind that in some constituencies, there are no fire stations there. So whenever there's a fire, an appliance would have to move from a much further constituency or area to be able to get there. A classic example is the constituency in Ghana, the Papanya constituency, where there is no fire station there. So if there's any fire in that area, the appliance would have to come away from Medina, or I believe again, even at La Paz, look at a big community like La Paz, there's no single fire station there. So if there's any fire emergency, appliance would have to move from, I believe. So it's a very good call, and I think that it's implemented.
Okay, I mean, quickly again before I let you go. So the call or the request by the president that we should set up security cameras, fire tenders very close to marketplaces. Has the process started? Where are we with that? Do you have any information you can share with us?
Well, with the service, what we started doing, looking at the fact that we have limited fire tenders, even this morning, from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's when the fires happen. So for now, we station fire the market. If you go to La Market, if you go to Osu Market, we station our fire there from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So for now, in face of our challenges with our fire tenders, this is what we're doing at this time. And then hopefully once we get more fire tenders, be able to station fire tenders at these markets.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for talking to us. ADO one Alex Kinati speaks for the National Fire Service and just talking to him. Now, moving away from that, President John Mahama has revealed his administration has taken urgent measures to revitalize Ghana's oil and gas industry, which, according to him, has been in decline over the past 8 years. Speaking during a thank you visit to the Western region, he said that his government has engaged in discussions with key stakeholders in the oil and gas sector. As a result, the Western region is poised to witness a revival of the industry. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba joins us with more. Maxwell. Hi, Maxwell. If you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Apart from what I've been telling our audience, what else is happening? What happened in the Western region and what's happening in the Central region?
Well, the president started his tour here in the Central region at the Adamabu Fisheries College. Now, that college was started sometime in 2011, but after the NDC left power, the project was abandoned. So today, President Mahama visited the place to inspect the facility and also to make a commitment that soon work will begin to operationalize the facility. He's been addressing residents, traditional authorities, opinion leaders, and some of the people of the Central region who gathered there. And he promised them that the Fisheries Ministry, together with the Finance Ministry, will be holding discussions on the facility. Discussions focused on how to operationalize the facility. He expressed worry that there are a lot of abandoned projects, in the country. And he said that it is worrying, especially because the taxpayers' money are used to fund some of these projects. And it's important that they are completed irrespective of which government is in power. He just visit to the site today signals his commitment to completing all abandoned projects in the country. And he promised that he's going to ensure that that is done. So, for the residents, we are quite excited that it looks positive now that the Adamabu Fishing College will be completed and operational.
That's good to know. Well, I know that he's spending some days in the Central region. Is it just today? What other things would he be doing in the Central region?
Yes, so it's just today. Later, in about 2 hours, he'll be meeting the residents of the Central region, just like he did yesterday in the Western region. Expected to be another event to be the clergy, traditional authorities, members of parliament, ministers, residents, party supporters are all expected to gather later in the Central region, where we especially thank them for their support in the 2024 elections. We've so far seen that in the Volta region, Western region, and today is the turn of the Central region.
Thank you so much, Maxwell Agbagba. That's a very nice suit in there. Thank you for bringing us those reports from both the Central and the Western region. Now, moving on, residents of Ablekuma North constituency are asking for restraint as both Irabina Obin and Ekia Efriye have erected billboards claiming victory. The Electoral Commission is yet to declare final results of the Ablekuma North elections after several failed attempts to conclude the collation process, which had been marred with violence. But before the EC proceeds any further, both candidates have erected billboards thanking constituents for electing them. James Aveji visited the constituency and has filed this report.
This is Kwashiman traffic light at the heart of Ablekuma North constituency. Now, 2 months ago, a constituent went to the polls just as anyone across all other constituencies in the country to elect both presidential and parliamentary candidates. But 2 months on, they are yet to get a representation in parliament. That is because the Electoral Commission, after several attempts, is still yet to declare a final winner of the parliamentary elections in this particular constituency.
After multiple collation attempts amid chaos and drama, the EC has been able to collate 280 out of the 281 total polling stations. A final attempt on January 17 had to be suspended because NDC supporters invaded the collation center and vandalized the place. While the EC is looking for ways to resolve the impasse, the NDC's Irabina Obin and the NPP's Ekia Efriye are both claiming victory, saying thank you to voters for electing them. In the middle of this busy intersection, a Rebel's billboard stood side by side Ekwefrie and Dr. Baumier's campaign billboard with the inscription, "Thank you, Ablekuma North constituency, building Ablekuma North together." Just 200 meters away from this footbridge overseeing the highway, Ekwefrie also erect her own billboard side by side Irabna and John Mahama's campaign billboard with the inscription, "Ablekuma North constituency, I am grateful. Ekwefrie MP-elect, Ablekuma North." A number of similar billboards are put up at several vantage locations across the constituency. Beyond these billboards, the two are currently on a thank you tour. For some residents, these actions may disrupt the peace of the constituency.
NDC is claiming victory, and the NPP is also claiming victory. Meanwhile, the final result is not declared. We, the youth, want peace, so we appeal to them to exercise restraint. They are all saying thank you to voters when there is no declaration. We want them to wait for the EC so that there will be peace.
Others also believe the EC's delay is not only denying them representation in Parliament, but development as well.
The Electoral Commission has to work on this to declare the winner for the voters to know who their leader is. Because when it comes to development, it's the leader who will lobby for development from the government and bring it to the constituency. So now, as Ablekuma North, they are orphans. They don't know where to go or who to talk to. It's not a good thing at all for Ablekuma North.
It is still unclear how long the constituents of Ablekuma North would have to wait to get representation in the House of Legislature. From Ablekuma North constituency here in Accra, I am James Savage for Joy News.
Of course, quite an interesting time in the Ablekuma North constituency. We'll still be keeping an eye on that and also with the Electoral Commission and bringing updates from that story. Now, moving away from that, a local governance expert is pushing for the election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executive officers along political party lines. Andy Bediako says this will eliminate any bottlenecks in the selection of MMDCs. Now, before we hear from Mr. Bediako, let's take you to the Ashanti region, where shortlisted candidates for the Chief Executive Officer of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly are expected to go through vetting for the position. 3 persons, a former MC for Obuasi, Richard Ofori Ajaman, former DCE for Echuma, also Echuma Wabieja South, Nana Asare Bediako, and Martin Asamoah Etuahene have been shortlisted for the vetting. Even before the vetting, some NDC supporters in the Echuma Wabieja district are rooting for Nana Asare Bediako. Richard Ayamba speaks for the group.
As a proud constituent of Echuma Wabieja South Municipal, we have had the privilege of witnessing Nana Asare Bediako's selfless dedication, unwavering commitment, and transformative leadership. Nana Asare Bediako is a dedicated member and financier of the National Democratic Congress Party. He was the Ashanti Regional Director for Interparty and Civil Society Organization and also the Echuma Ahafo Security Zonal Coordinator. He worked tirelessly for 8 years when the party was in opposition, sponsoring a lot of party activities. Through his hard work, he won the Ahafo Ano South East constituency seat for NDC for the first time. Notably, he also donated a pickup truck to support the operations of the Echuma Wabieja South constituency in the just ended elections. His loyalty, perseverance, and passion have made significant contributions to the party's growth and development. Yeah. He has since been a member of the party and then worked continuously for the party throughout all the 8 years in opposition. And then he has helped the party to come into power.
We can now hear from local governance expert Andy Bediako, who believes partisan election of MMDCs will give the ordinary Ghanaian a say in who leads them. He spoke earlier on News Desk.
If the president continue to appoint MNDCs, what happens is that the MNDCs are not accountable to the people, but rather to the president. Because the president can appoint you to pay the law. The local, the constitution at Article 243, it is only the president who can nominate or who can appoint you as an MC, but you have to go for confirmation at the district level by the honorable assembly members. But the president can put you there today, and tomorrow he can remove you. So definitely you are always accountable to the president, but not the local people. But you are always with the local people. If you are being maltreated as an MC within government circles, you cannot raise it. Party executives at the local level or the regional level can petition the president tomorrow and you are removed. And this makes MNDC's job very difficult. So I am for the election of MNDCs at the local level, because when you are elected, you become accountable to the people.
Meanwhile, campaign for Council of State Representatives for the Ashanti region is heating up as aspirants begin campaign tours of all 43 local assemblies of the region. 2 women are among the 12 candidates gunning for a seat at the Council of State through the Electoral College of 2 representatives from each assembly is yet to be formed. Aspirants have hit the road running in a bid to secure votes. Danaya Ojima puts out spotlight on some of the candidates who has filed for this report.
12 people have filed to contest for the Council of State position in the Ashanti region. Out of 12 applications received, 2 are females, while the remaining 10 are males. 86 assembly members nominated from the 43 district, municipal and metropolitan assemblies are expected to vote in the upcoming election. In a rare move, 2 accomplished women are gearing up to win the contest that has been male-dominated. Accomplished entrepreneur Rose Hamilton was the first female to put herself up for the race. Spokesperson Kwame Osubampu counts on the experience of the candidate to win the race.
Rose Hamilton never put to mass at
Mrs. Rose Hamilton will help facilitate development in Ashanti. She's accessible. Some people vanish into thin air after we vote for them.
Queen Mother of Insuta Falde, Nana Adjoa Foriwa steps into the race as an experienced traditional ruler, hoping to make a change in national policies.
My
vision is to help bring development to Ashanti. It's time to give women the chance to serve at the Council of State.
The campaign team of the chief of Agric in Zama, Nana Nkansa Boadu, continues to impress upon the Electoral College to put him ahead of others. Bafo Kantenkrechi speaks for him.
It is the development of the country we all seek for. He has Ghana at heart.
Former chairman of the NDC in the Ashanti region, Yao Obimpe, and former organizer of the NDC at Insheso constituency, Angel Yenchi, have also joined the race.
If Ashanti has voted for John Mahama, then the region should be honored. I'm the best person to help him do that. It is time for the youth to drive development, and I am the person for that.
The other aspirants include Nana Yao Ekweoko, Alexander Inti, Nana Jedukumenim the 4th, and Nana Kwesi Ampofo the 2nd. Daniel Anefi and Bismarck Ejay are among aspirants in the contest. For JoyNews, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
You're watching JoyNews Today. I'm Emefa Kosiadete. We go for a quick break. When we come back, business, please stay.
Welcome back to Business on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki. Now coming up, the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obin, says a decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to enforce a global freeze on foreign aid is a wake-up call for the country to work towards self-sufficiency. The move by the U.S. is expected to have a significant impact on Ghana in areas including education, health, economic growth, agriculture, and governance. Here's Dr. Obin speaking to Joy Business.
It's for a nation to think outside the box. We are a sovereign nation, and our destiny shouldn't be tied to a particular country, whether it's a superpower or not. It's neither here nor there. We have to adopt homegrown solutions. That's why I support the import substitution drive of the government, where they want us to be self-sufficient and all that. That's the key. That's what we have to be thinking as a nation by now, so that we will not be afraid of molestation or sanctions that will come from any other country. Ghana, with given the resources and all that, can do well as most developed countries are doing. It's only that we have to position ourselves, find where we have comparative advantage, and then make conscious effort that we are developing those areas for our self-sufficiency and also for export and to make us rich.
In other developments, Anointed Engineering Services Limited has introduced the Zero Nano 3 electric vehicle, marking a significant milestone in Ghana's automobile industry as the first of its kind in the market. CEO of Anointed Engineering Services, Samuel Boateng, highlighted this exceptional comfort and efficiency of the electric car, emphasizing its importance as a practical and cost-effective solution for Ghanaian motorists. Known for its expertise in generator sales, Anointed Engineering is now setting the pace in electric mobility, ensuring the transition to EV is both affordable and convenient.
The Zero Nano 3 stands out for its user-friendly design and ease of charging. Unlike many electric vehicles that require dedicated charging stations, this model can be powered using a standard home socket 13-arm plug top. Beyond its practicality, the Zero Nano 3 is a step towards a cleaner, greener and sustainable Ghana, as it produces zero emissions, contributing to the fight against climate change and reducing air pollution-related illnesses. CEO of Anointed Engineering Services, Samuel Boateng, spoke at the grand unveiling of the company's modern showroom in Kumasi.
Today we present to you our latest, the modern EV vehicle in town. I mean, you know Anointed as our generator expert, but today we are bringing you something new. What we are bringing you is a solution for Ghana problems. Our latest serial EV vehicles. And this is the best for Ghana. Currently we have two big showroom we are marketing these vehicles. Accra showroom, Adabraka, and Kumasi. This vehicle is going to be everywhere in Ghana. Wherever you see Anointed, you see Zero EV.
Mr. Boateng emphasized the home charging feature eliminates fuel dependency, and a free silent generator ensures uninterrupted charging. He said the vehicle promotes clean energy adoption, making it a key player in Ghana's shift toward eco-friendly transportation. With rising fuel prices and increasing environmental concerns, the Zero Nano 3 is the perfect alternative for Ghanaian drivers.
Ghana is full of fossil fuel. Our vehicles are running on fuel. This is free of emission. You don't need charging stations for these vehicles. These vehicles, you can charge it from your home, your normal socket. If you buy this vehicle, we are giving you a generator, okay? So as a package, if you get home and there is no electricity, Anointed is there to solve this problem for you. It comes with the full spare parts, it comes with the warranties, it comes with all the protections that we have in the normal vehicles, the airbags, everything. I mean, there's no problems. We have qualified, dedicated engineering team who are here to support these vehicles. So you don't need to worry about anything. this car is fully charged, you can go 200 kilometers. Right now, we are running a promotion that we are giving you a digital genset. We also have the banks ready to give you, those who don't have the rare cash to pay. The banks are here to give you auto loans to pay for this in cool. Don't need to worry about it. The battery that drives this car is guaranteed for 8 years. The car, all electric cars, the main driving force is the battery.
Reporting for Joy News, Josephine Sego.
That's all for business here on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Taki. Coming up next is sports after this break.
Time now to bring you sports here on Joy News Today with me, Muftao Nabila Abdullah. The Ghana Police Service has arrested one more person in connection with the murder of Kumasi Asante Kotoko supporter Yao Frimpong, who passed on Sunday. The IGP says that they will stop at nothing in arresting all the people involved in the murder.
We will stop at nothing in getting the people involved arrested to face justice. We urge the public and the entirety of the football fraternity in particular to support us in this endeavor, and people to see the situation as a crime which is being investigated and nothing else, so that the families and the club and the football fraternity and the country will have closure when it comes to this matter. For us also using this proactively to learn the relevant lessons and come out with a blueprint better than what we have currently in place to ensure that football continues to be a game that needs to be enjoyed and not a game that people end up losing their lives. Because why should you be going to a place that you expect to enjoy yourself and then ending up losing your life? This must not happen again. And we, the people here in this room, have that responsibility to ensure that it doesn't happen. Let us rise up to that responsibility in service of the good people of this country and in service of humanity.
Meanwhile, the fans of Nsuatruman FC, they have decided to call on the gods of the community to expose the culprit who's stabbed Yao Frimpong to death.
And it's in the Sabre, Yawaha. Yawa, Churesia, you will swear friend in Churesia. It is Lucia away. I have a mamre, any a money. A sren anonum, a bosom, and in Suensua, Bewo, Purpium in our set. Nipa, or the secane, Anna Abba, Anna Bibi, a bo pole, a money Yamediano, Nananum Bay. Obey no amaye na abane ne nati ne senia mra esitie una yede suatra bote kwam dia wusie ni dwane be yeden abekwa akoma no na wedi a okita ye nsuwansu a awon suatra kuropie mu a ene asase ne ahomhoma.
That is your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. Up next is Showbiz.
Welcome back to Joy News Today. Now, before I bring you Showbiz, Tech Thursday first. Now, a team of researchers from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has unveiled an innovative and sustainable method for producing high-performance batteries using taro, what you know as cocoa or brobe. pills. The innovation highlighted in the journal Energy Storage utilizes advanced scientific processes to convert taro pills into activated carbon and enhanced performances. Now, Dr. Daniel Mframa Ampong, the lead researcher and a member of the KNUST Center for Engineering Materials Research, explained their approach.
We carried out a project using local available material, that is waste, to make energy storage material. We synthesize activated carbon from taro, which is locally known as brobe or sukoko in our local dialect. With this material, it contains some properties or functional groups that we perceived would enhance the properties of storage devices. The commercially available activated carbons that we have or that is in the market are usually synthesized from chemicals that are toxic, they are hazardous, and some of them, even the synthesis route is cumbersome and expensive. So we decided to come down to our level and then use the process that we use for producing charcoal in our villages. So in our villages, what they do is that they have the log and then they pack the log, wheat on it, and then cover it with sand. The purpose of doing that is to create some enabling environment to prevent it from turning into ash. So we also mimic the same principle. We use, in the lab, we have crucibles. So we use the crucibles, we embedded one in the other, and then we put sand on it to mimic the processes that we use to produce the charcoal. And at the end, we were able to synthesize the activated carbon, which had similar properties to the commercially available activated carbon that is in the market. So with that, we tested its electrochemical performance using 3 electrode system and then the 2 electrode systems. So we have cells that we use in our batteries. So we try to produce the cells so that we can test the applications in the real life environment. So I have a flameless candle which operates with a 3 volts battery. So I also used my cell in order to check whether it can perform the function of the commercial batteries that we have. And then when I tested, it was able to operate for some minutes, even after cycling. So cycling, basically, we want to, for our phones and then our laptops, what we do is we charge, and then we use it for some time. When the battery dies or when the battery is low, then we charge again. So we did the same thing for the cell. After we tested for some time, 10,000 cycles, I took the cell out and then also tested using the flameless bulb to check whether it can work. And it still worked for about 1.5 hours after we did that. So
there has been a lot of development in trying to use these bio-waste material mostly to derive our carbon. The plan is we want to get some eco-friendly way of creating energy. And this is what we are looking at in our lab. I mean, going forward, we know that there is an opportunity in this area. If we build on the expertise, then we can now look at how to scale it up and how to make an impact. We are a little bit far from building our own batteries, but we are close to understanding how we can do these things.
Time now for showbiz. Now, first off, Sean Diddy Combs' legal troubles just might be piling up. The hip-hop mogul, currently behind bars, is expected to face more than 10 new lawsuits in the coming days because apparently when it rains, it indeed pours. Jacqueline and Yeboah has more in the following report.
Attorney Busby, who represents dozens of accusers, made the revelation as he filed yet another lawsuit, this time on behalf of a 23-year-old man who claims Diddy dragged and assaulted him after an event in 2015. Diddy's legal team has denied all allegations against him, but the list of accusations include dragging, assault, and rape continues to grow. And that's not all. He's also facing federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges, to which he has pleaded not guilty. Busby has been at the center of several cases against Diddy, including one that also named Jay-Z, though he has denied any involvement and asked for the case to be dismissed. As it stands, Diddy is already facing more than 30 civil suits. With his federal trial looming, it looks like Diddy's courtroom battles are far from over.
Inevitable prolong. Let's go. Another day, another dawn. Come on. Just tell.
Wow. Well, moving on, it's been 7 years since Ghana lost the fearless and unstoppable Ebony Reigns. But if there's one thing time hasn't erased, is her music. As we approach the anniversary of her passing this weekend, it's only right to take a moment to celebrate the songs that made her a household name and cemented her as a legend in Ghanaian music. My colleague Jacqueline and Yeboah takes us down the memory lane again.
From the raw and rebellious Date Your Father to the hustle anthem, Sponsor.
See, I've got myself a sponsor. Anything me ask, get it bye-bye. Even though it's older, but I got to survive.
Ebony had a way of telling stories that people could relate to. Her hard-hitting song, Mamishe, became more than just a hit. It was a movement against domestic violence. And let's not forget Hustle, which spoke the truth so boldly that it remains an anthem for many trying to make it in life. Even 7 years later, her music still dominates playlists, clubs, and radio stations, proving that Ebony never really left her voice. Her impact and her reign continues to live on. So as we remember Ebony this weekend, let's do what Ebony would have wanted. Turn up the volume and celebrate her legacy through her music. For Joy News, I'm Jacqueline and Yeboah.
Who doesn't love Ebony, and may she continue to rest in peace. And of course, you should celebrate her by playing her song all through the weekend. That's it for today on Joy News. My name is Emefa Akosia Adeti. But for more news though, do log on to myjoyonline.com and let me take you through our biggest stories, and you'd find that you find that minority, not speaker, halted vetting chaos probe. And so yesterday you recall that there was an abrupt end to that probe into the chaos that happened on Thursday. And that's the update you can read on myjoyonline.com. Many thanks for watching.